would be to know your why.
To know your why.
So it helps you to move with confidence.
Yeah.
Even if it's difficult, you still feel like on fire. Then you need to trust yourself. You need to trust that whatever happens, you will find it and you will make it. Just the process.
Like my sister always said that true love will come find you no matter what.
Which was when I didn't listen to that little voice inside of me. Also, for me at least, learning through story has been the excellent way how I learn things.
Currently, I'm still in grade 10, and I think it is still a little bit too early to decide a specific major. But currently, I am focusing on studying biology and science, like STEM-related subjects, because I just love those subjects.
Riêng em thì em đi chuyên Anh, bởi vì một là em đi về kiến thức pháp luật, hai là em đi về psychology, hoặc có thể là education cũng được, nhưng mà em không là thích, em thích education lắm. Nhà em không có truyền thống nhà giáo á, cho nên em cũng không có nhiều cái experience từ cha mẹ em hay là họ hàng của em. Thường về banking. Ba em làm logistics.
My family also get involved in a lot of bank and financial related work, and a lot of the members in my family are accountants or work in the bank. I really hate business because it is so brutal. The job itself is really merciless.
Thì có một cái mặt của business mà em không thích á, là hầu như em xem những cái shorts là những người giàu á thường làm entrepreneur hơn. Bình thường muốn làm entrepreneur là mình phải có nợ nhiều nữa, rất là stress rất là nhiều.
Yeah, actually yes.
Cũng một phần thì chắc chắn là học về ngành giáo dục thì nó sẽ vững hơn rồi, nó sẽ có sự thăng tiến theo một thời gian dài hết. Nhưng mà em cảm giác là lương nó không được cao cho lắm. Với lại có những cái bài giảng mà nghe cô nói là sẽ giảng đi giảng lại cả 100 lần gì đó, cho nên sẽ rất là ngán. Nếu mà đi sâu về nghề dạy giáo á, thì sau này mình sẽ phải nghiên cứu nữa, mình phải học lên bachelor và mình học lên master. GPA của họ rất là cao, đơn giản học giỏi và học chăm.
Yeah.
Dạ chắc chắn rồi.
Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to another interview. In the last video, we had the chance to interview Johannes, who was a business graduate from Germany. And today we have the chance to interview someone who has had a lot of experience, both as an educator and as a businesswoman. So please welcome Ha Anh. And first of all, to introduce some background information, I already knew Ha Anh last year when I joined an info session held by Fulbright Foreign Language Teaching Assistance Program. And I was very impressed by her liberal way of expressing and her style, everything. You were also my mentor for a scholarship that I applied to the EU. Okay, so first of all, could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, thank you so much for the invitation. And hi, my name is Ha Anh. And after graduating from Vietnam National University back in 2016 with a bachelor degree in English education, I started my career, the first half of my career, focusing on merely teaching. And then 3 years ago, since 2021, finally, I have the chance and also the courage to start my own venture. And it has been a roller coaster ride for the past 3 years, but I am positive about the journey ahead.
Yeah. So it can be a difficult question, this one, but as I know, and as you said, you graduated with a bachelor's in English education, right? But you started your career in the field of teaching Vietnamese language to foreigners. Like, what was your reason? Why did you do so?
Well, actually, I still remember my class back in VNU was actually the honored fast track program. I think it could be the third year. One of our teachers asked, okay, who here would become a teacher after graduation?
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean, most of the time during my younger years, I feel like I don't really have an orientation, right? Like, what do I do after graduation? I don't know. So for that question, only half of the class raised their hand. And of course, I wasn't one of those, but it feels good for me to know that my peers also wasn't sure if they want to be a teacher. Even we actually studied to be like English education. I was really freaked out because graduation was coming and I still didn't have any idea what to do after graduation. And then I accidentally saw, I was working in a restaurant in the Old Quarter. Then every day I saw a young lady came in and then she will teach Vietnamese, have a class with a student, sometimes man, sometimes woman, doesn't matter. And they seem to have a lot of fun. And so I thought this seemed like something I wanted to do. So after maybe 3 or 4 times, I started approaching that woman. And I just asked her like, chị ơi, I want to teach Vietnamese as well. Can you teach me how to do that? And that's how I started. After a few months, she called me and said, okay, they need more teachers now. And then we had an interview. And then I just started teaching.
So your first, I would say your company was Tiếng Việt ơi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the biggest and the most formal company in Vietnam right now, based on my research, that offers Vietnamese lessons to foreigners, which is very high quality. Actually, even nowadays, I think the job or the title and the career of teaching Vietnamese to foreigners has become more popular. But even today, when some of my friends, and I tell them, oh, I have friends who are teaching Vietnamese to foreigners, and even they tell me, oh, why would the foreigners want to learn Vietnamese? And I would have to explain them that Vietnamese is a beautiful language, and there are many expert foreign people working here, and they want to learn the language, to work, to communicate, or to integrate into the culture, which is important. But so now let's look at this present point, because at this point, you have been a teacher for almost a decade. So how have the feelings of, when you teach Vietnamese to your students changed over the time?
I think I'm ready to tackle new challenges. For example, teach Vietnamese for business people. Yeah. So then I would have to adapt the materials that so it's more relevant to their life. And also I learn a lot more about the learners. Sometimes teaching is not that different from business. You have to know your customers, right? So I think it's also my strength. I know my student very well, and they feel safe and they feel they trust me a lot. And it makes the dynamic of the lessons feel very nice. And things just flow very natural.
So let's talk about, I would say, your most recent exciting journey in University of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You spent 1 year in University of Pennsylvania as a Vietnamese teaching assistant through the Fulbright foreign language teaching assistant. So how was that journey? And did you think you changed a lot when you was in the US?
No, I didn't change a lot. I changed too much. Yeah. I was actually really hesitated to take the opportunities, because the thing with Fulbright and a lot of other in like government scholarship is that the selection process takes about a year.
Yeah.
And in a year, a lot of things has changed, right? So for me, I was a little bit afraid to take the opportunities because I was in the middle of building my business and the team have only 3 people.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, I am one of the founder. If I leave, what about my teammate? What about the momentum? Maybe we will lose the momentum. But then my teammate was very supporting and they said, you have to go. 'Cause the business can only grow when the founder also grow, And I said, okay, that's a nice way to think about it. And so I went. I think the greatest thing for me with the Fulbright journey is that I know it's gonna end. So I know, I know exactly. I have only 10 months in the US. So then I make a really clear game plan, let's say, right? And I really live like, people say there's no tomorrow. But for me, it was there's no next year. And I achieved everything that I planned before going to the US. And that was very, exciting. and also encouraging. But that experience really instilled in me the belief that if I set a goal, I can achieve it. And it's, yes, ever since it has been my kind of like spine, my strength.
Yeah, and your inspiration for your business and for your other activities as well.
Yes.
Because first of all, I actually got goosebumps when you talk first of all about the fact that you meant when your partner, you're in the company, said that the company can only grow when the founders grow. Yes, I believe that. And the second, when you said about plan, because I am a planner, I am very detail oriented and I'm very goal oriented as well. Making plans can actually help you realize your goals and help you vision what are the steps, what I have to do, what are maybe the potential challenges as well. So yeah. And I think for your journey in the US, you achieve your goals. But what if there are 3 main goals? What were your 3 main goals in the US back then?
Well, I did have exactly 3 goals, and yes, I did achieve them. The first goal is to learn how to swim, because for my generation, most of the people, especially girls, don't really know how to swim. My parents, instead of teaching me to swim, they just said stay out of the water, right? Which worked so well until now. I start to hang out or travel with my friends, and then we would go to places like with the ocean, and then I couldn't swim, and I was here so afraid, and everybody was swimming so nice. So so that's why the first goal I set in the US was to be able to swim, and the second is to learn business, because I have been running, let's say starting my business up to that point for about a year. And then we encountered a lot of difficulties. So when I found out that I was going to UPenn, which has the Wharton Business School, one of the best university for business in the world. So I was like, okay, this is the right place. So I'm gonna learn as much as possible about business. And then the third goal is to travel around the US, again, as much as I could, because I only have 10 months and it's like halfway around the world. I'm not sure when would I be able to come back there again.
Yeah.
Right. So, of course, the studying business is the first priority, and then come swimming and traveling.
Yeah. And you achieved them all. So yeah, congratulations on that. So let's just wrap up talking about you being as an educator, about some moments. Are there any moments during those 8 years that you felt really negative, or have you ever even considered switching to another profession?
Oh, so many times. Actually, I was very happy to find Vietnamese teaching. And so after maybe a year or two, my income still stays the same, while my friends who work in the corporate world, their pay go up like this. And then I started feeling like I was falling behind. And while I still enjoy teaching so much, it started to add more pressure, mostly financial pressure.
Yeah.
And then also I was thinking of career progress, right? I don't want to be a teacher until like for the rest of my life, but I didn't really see what else I could do in like Vietnamese teaching, apart from teaching. So I did. I think I quit officially 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah. But then somehow it always didn't work out. I always feel that I enjoy teaching Vietnamese more. And I remember how much fun I had teaching Vietnamese. So then again, I came back.
Yeah. Like my sister always said that true love will come find you no matter what. And it will always be something that you feel fun doing, and eventually you're gonna pick that up again. So I think that's true for your case somehow. So your role as an educator is definitely prominent in your career. But now, because I have read on your Facebook that you are saying now you are an opportunity outreach specialist. how do you define an opportunity outreach specialist?
Well, as an opportunity outreach specialist, my mission is to help my mentees, my customers, find their opportunities, like reach out for it, seize it, even create their own opportunities. The ultimate goal is to reach their success, whatever the definition is.
Yeah, that's great. And I love the title, by the way. So could you tell people who are watching about your company, your business ventures, and what is the core product that you and maybe your co-founder as well have been trying to build up?
So we named the companies Dấu vết tương lai in Vietnamese and translated into English Future Traces. And since we started, the mission has always been to empower young people to go after their dreams, to encourage people to go on that journey, and that they can also enjoy the journey. First, we encourage them to dream, and also we help them to find the way, hence the word trace. So it's not a fixed journey. Yes, we keep our eyes on the prize. We know where we want to go, but the step could be different. I think most of the time people fail or people feel discouraged is when the plan didn't go exactly like the step that they planned. But that's actually okay. By now it's been 3 years, including 1 year in the US. We have developed a few products, and still we do have a lot of ideas. But for now, we have the flagship products would be the focus map, which is a visualization of our dream, our future success. The most important one with the focus map is to remind you that you have a focus. You can see your progress, like the change you have made, how you have improved. And when it's already there in front of your eyes, the feeling it created is very powerful. The second product is Express You. So Express You is the mentoring program to assist students through their application to study or work abroad. And the newest one I just launched is Teach Vietnamese Like a Pro. So this is the first course that I created, and the link of it to help the new teacher, to encourage teacher to actually pursue a career instead of just teach Vietnamese like a part-time job.
Yeah. Maybe it can also help the youth and young people to be more aware or to be more proud of the language that we are sharing, which is Vietnamese. Because if you still think that not many people want to learn Vietnamese, then maybe you have to rethink again. And I really hope that teaching Vietnamese will become one of the most popular professions in Vietnam in the upcoming years. Because given the conditions now that the economy in Vietnam is attracting so many foreigners and expats coming here working. So I think it's very necessary to learn the language. So just talking about your business venture, because you are one of the founders in your company, Dấu vết tương lai or Future Traces. What is one aspect, or maybe you can tell many aspects as well, but what is one aspect that you have found the most challenging till now?
I would say personally, because I didn't have a background in business. So I virtually just turned from a teacher, and then the next day, I was thinking, okay, what do I want to create? So a lot of the thing, let's say in terms of business development plan or marketing, I have been doing it just out of my instincts, right? I said, okay, maybe this is the good way. So I think the most thing that I found difficulty is sometimes I feel like I'm walking in the dark, right? I walk maybe one step and I'm not sure if that's the right step, and I'm not even sure what is the next step. And those was very difficult months. The most important thing is I have not been doing it alone. I have a wonderful team. And so when I feel really low, they would be the one who encouraged me and had my back. And then after that, as I do more and I study more, things start to get easier.
Yeah.
And then now I think compared to 3 years ago, every time I go to work, I feel like a fraud. Like I don't know what I am doing. Now I can say I know what I am doing. So that would be the most difficult thing, but also the most reward feeling.
For me, or for you as well. Well, because as you're talking about your co-founder and her vision, her mindset for the company, I'm actually very interested in knowing a little bit more about your co-founder and how you two have met, how you two have been working, what are your common goals or common style of management.
I was teaching Vietnamese to her husband, right? So I would meet her on a weekly basis, and then we really get along. We talk a lot about life, about culture differences, and she's actually 20 years older than me. So basically, different generation, but we still share a lot of things in common. And for me, the reason why in this business is to help younger people in navigating their life, because I experienced that, disorientated. And now that I have my own orientation, I can see the difference. I can feel the strength that I have now. And I want to, guide younger people to also have that, to live in a world that is connected, that is sustainable, so actually for future generation. So that is our mutual interest.
Yeah, that's very inspiring. To wrap up today's interview, and as how it usually goes, it is to have you had, or do you want to say anything to young people, including me? I am a young person as well, especially those who are starting and preparing their career, and especially those who want to pursue higher educations. So what is your key advice or anything you want to say?
Well, for the audience, especially the young audience, I think my top 2 advice would be, 1, to know your why, and 2nd, to trust yourself. To know your why. So it helps you to move with confidence, even if it's difficult, you still feel like on fire doing those things. But before you know your why, and even after, difficulty would come, but when you trust yourself, it's very hard, I know, but one of the things that help you to trust yourself better, allow yourself to fail. We have the right to fail now because we live in a much safer country or world now. Yes, pushing yourself is good, but also trusting and allow a certain time and space to grow is also very important.
And allowing time and space for things to happen.
The biggest mistake for me is not to trust myself. The incident that happened that had the most detrimental to my life, which was when I didn't listen to that little voice inside of me, and then, but also through the incident, I grew the most. Before you know your why, then you need to trust yourself. You need to trust that whatever happens, you will find it and you will make it. Trust the process.
Yeah.
I just turned 30 and my mom was like, you're 30 years old already and you haven't really given me a lot, like any money.
Yeah,
right?
You don't have a house, a car.
Yes. Yeah, where's your house, where's your car? Look at the neighbor's kid, right? And I used to feel very embarrassed as well. But now I can confidently tell her that I am taking my time to build the business. Give me some more years and then I would be able to give back to you. Right? But before that, I was just like, oh, like it's hard to talk to my mom because I felt like I'm not enough. But after I knew my why, then it's so much easier to operate.
And just the final part of today's interview. Do you have any question for me? If you do have, just to wrap up our interview.
So the next question would be, what is your plan? Since we've been talking about my goals, my plan. So how about yours?
So my plan right now, actually, I still really want to do and continue growing this YouTube. So
Mhm.
1A, it's big enough to become like a part of my brand, and it's a channel where people can come listen to stories. They don't necessarily have to learn anything specifically, but they can just listen to stories and they can find themselves in those stories. So that's my ultimate goal I have for this YouTube channel. It's somewhere you feel like you can listen comfortably and you can still learn something along the way.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I think you're going the right way, because we used to, how to say, humble, to say, oh, they don't have, like, not necessarily learn anything, but actually people learn the most from story, because it's add a personal touch, and also it helped people to internalize whatever was happening. So learning, also for me at least, learning through story has been the excellent way how I learn things. So I learned a lot from your previous videos. So I look forward to see more videos in the future, and definitely I will help to promote it as much as I can.
Thank you very much. And I'm gonna get a link to the last video if you guys haven't seen it yet. It was a talk with Johannes, who is actually now a financialist doing his master's degree in Netherlands. And I hope to have another chance to interview him soon in the future. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for your time, your being, and I hope you, as well as me, all the best in the future.
Thank you so much.